All right, welcome to the next episode of Fight Picks. This week I brought in Dante. Originally I had Danny Bear that I picked, and last week he said he couldn't make it, and then we rescheduled for today. And again, he said, he was feeling a little under the weather. I think he was just scared, but what do you know? We got Dante here, who is going to be one of the next people on. So, Dante, tell us what the game rules are.
All right, so the game rules are, number one, you have to bet like the complete $1,000. Number two, bets must be in before the show, which we already did. Number three, must bet at least $100 on each fight. Number four, largest profit wins. Number five, winner becomes host and issues challenge.
All right, so the fights we have for the main card is what we'll be betting on. We have the main event, which is Stipe versus DC. We have, for the co-main event, Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera. The fight before that is going to be Junior Dos Santos versus Rosenstruck. We have John Dotson and Merab. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. And we have Jim Miller versus Vince Pichel. Now, for the first fight of the night, for the Jim Miller fight, honestly, I kind of went back and forth on that one. I wasn't really sure. That was kind of a last minute where they moved it to the main card because one of the guys got COVID. So I didn't get too much time to really study those guys or watch any fights. But Jim Miller's always been a grinder. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He doesn't get finished too often. When he does get finished pretty bad. He gets knocked out. But you know what? I'm going to go with that experience. The other guy I saw, he had only fought like 4 times since 2014, I think it was. So just Jim Miller being active, I picked him, and I bet $100 on Jim Miller.
Oh, wow. So I did the exact same thing just because, like, right before the show, I was looking the other guy up, and he has a habit of shooting with his head high. And Jim Miller is phenomenal jiu-jitsu practitioner. So I was like, if it goes to the ground, I think Jim Miller's going to win this. So
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Yeah. So the next fight, we got the John Dotson fight versus that Merab. The odds for this one were kind of all over the place. Merab is obviously a decent favorite for this fight. But I just feel like Dotson, he's fought way higher caliber of people. He doesn't get finished very often. He's a tough dude to beat. He's got a lot of power. I mean, he's knocked out Dillashaw before. I know he's probably getting a little bit closer to the end of his career, but because the odds were so skewed, I decided to go with Dotson, and I am betting $350 on that one.
This is really weird, dude, because I bet $200 on Dotson. I just thought he's super explosive. He has a lot of experience. And he always comes to fight, dude. You never see like a boring fight from him, so I picked Dotson.
That's true. Now we'll go to the Dos Santos fight versus Rosenstruck. I think Rosenstruck's got the better wrestling. He's got pretty good striking too. He just got knocked out in his last fight. That's kind of a tough one. He hasn't lost too many times. He's a super tough dude. We'll see how he comes back from being knocked out. Dos Santos is a guy who's been around forever. He was the champ at one time. He's got phenomenal boxing, good takedown defense. We've never really seen too much of his jiu-jitsu. So we'll see how he is off his back if he gets taken down. But for that fight, I decided to go with Rosenstruck, and I bet $200.
Nice. I also, but I went $300 just because Junior in his last 3 fights has been finished like bad, really bad, and Rosenstruck has only been KO'd once, and it was against the Predator himself. So I mean, anytime anyone loses to Francis, like you kind of just chalk that up to it's Francis.
That doesn't even count.
Yeah. So he's only lost once ever in his career, and he's been finishing people, so I picked him.
That's what I went with, too. Now we're going to the O'Malley fight versus Marlon Vera. Honestly, this one, it wasn't too tough for me, even though, Sean O'Malley's a huge favorite. Marlon Vera's been around for a little bit. He's a super tough dude. I think they are overlooking him a little bit. But Sean O'Malley, undefeated. His striking's amazing. He's got good jiu-jitsu. And they want him to win. No matter what anyone says, they want Sean O'Malley to be that next poster boy making a lot of money off him. So even though you can't really make that much money off it, I had to go with kind of the sure thing, and I'm going with Sean O'Malley for $100.
That's weird. So I'm actually going to go against you.
Oh,
it's like
fuck.
Sean O'Malley, $100.
Oh, damn. We have the exact same pick so far.
Yeah.
A little bit different on the money, but this is going to be interesting.
Dude, you want that chair so bad. It's so ridiculous.
I love this chair. Undefeated, still champ. So let's see if we have a different one for this one. The main event, we got Stipe versus DC. Now, this fight is tough. Obviously, DC's already pretty much came out and said this is going to be his last fight. You know, he wants this title so bad. Like, this fight probably means everything to him. Stipe, a big heavyweight, super powerful, good wrestling, good ground and pound. And we saw their first fight. DC was winning pretty much the majority of that fight. And then once Stipe started going to the body, things started shifting a lot. And eventually he finished DC. So they're 1-1. They've both knocked each other out. So it's kind of tough to say for this one. It really could go either way. But I don't know. Something inside me just said, you know what? I got to go with Stipe on this one. And I bet $250.
All right, I see. Well, I already picked all the brothers on the show, so I figured I might as well like keep this Wakanda train going. I picked DC for $300.
Oh.
Yeah. So the reason why I picked DC is DC's smart, man. Like he finished him the first time. The second time he was whooping him before he started switching to the body. I think DC's gonna wrestle him. To be honest, I think he's gonna force him to grapple. And Stipe is a phenomenal wrestler too, but DC, in my opinion, is just on a whole nother level. And he hits super hard, so I think he may finish.
You're thinking another knockout?
I think another knockout.
Ooh. I could definitely see that. You know, like DC clearly is the more credentialed wrestler. Man, Stipe's size, I think, is going to be a little bit of a factor. Is DC going to go to the wrestling a lot, and then maybe he tires himself out? Like, that's always the thing in those 5-round fights where, yeah, if DC went out there and he just put it on him, took him down every round, and just like war on him, that could be huge for him. But there's always that thing in the back of those wrestlers' heads. They're like, it's a 5-round fight. You know, he's getting older. He's late in his career. Is he gonna really have that mindset of pushing that pace for 5 rounds? Because if he doesn't finish him and he gasses, he'll probably be the one getting finished. So
yeah, but we've never seen DC gas other than when he fought John Jones for the first time.
That's true.
And that was like late in the 5th round he started gassing. But the only thing I really worry about DC is he has a habit when strikes are coming towards him, he leans towards his right. That's how he got finished with the head kick. Anytime he sees any type of strike coming to that side, he leans towards it. I'm not really sure why. So that's the only thing that I worry about it. But Stipe doesn't throw head kicks.
So no matter what happens in this fight, who do you think, like, well, I guess DC is going to retire. But do you think they're going to have John Jones fight Stipe next? What do you see? Do you see it being John Jones, or do you see it being Ngannou, or what?
If they don't give Francis a title shot, dude, like what's going to happen? There's no one left. He's killed everybody.
Yeah.
He's literally murdered the
so
entire
much
heavyweight.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say because like Ngannou already fought him once, which I feel like Ngannou's a different beast now. He probably wouldn't be as timid, and he would let go and probably knock him out. But we'll see what the president, Dana White wants. Is he going to think they can sell more off of the John Jones fight, or are they going to think at all that power they're just going to go with
as
Ngannou?
much as I love Francis, I think Stipe beats Francis again. Just because Francis doesn't really set up his shots and everything, and you're not going to have to worry about wrestling from him. And Stipe just has such a good, clean jab, and I think you can wear him out, make him miss. It'd be the same exact fight.
Yeah, just take him down.
Be the same exact fight, in my opinion.
So let's say you come out the winner on
Let's
this,
say
and you get the most profit.
Win.
If, and that's a big if, the champ here. Who are you going to pick?
Who am I going to pick? Well, I would say Danny, but he ducks people, so I think I may go Jackson, kickboxer, not Jackson Ross, the other one.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think I'll
Roll.
humble him. He talks a lot. Then I don't know. I'll go after Spencer. He talks a lot. He's like
Okay.
a mini Taylor Moore, so I want to embarrass
true.
him too.
Yep.
So that's my game plan. And can I just say, dude, on the behalf of everyone in this building, we are so tired of seeing you in this chair, bro. We're so tired.
Third time on.
Disgusting.
I think if I win this one, Danny ducked it twice, so he's kind of a lost cause at this point. If he ends up coming out of the shadows one day, we'll see. I might actually go with Parisian on the next one. I was gonna pick him for this week after I smashed Danny, and I messaged him last minute today, and he couldn't really make it in, but it would have been a perfect card, like the two heavyweights battling it out to have Parisian on. So I think since he couldn't make it, I'm going to bring on Parisian next week.
I think it's so hilarious because you're so humble and nice, but for some reason, as soon as you put a microphone in front of you and headphones on, you become like Conor McGregor, just talking mad trash. Disgusting.
Yep. All right. You got anything else?
Well, you had a good run. You were a pretty good champ.
New champ and new?
Yeah, and new. And
All right. We will see Saturday night.
All right, peace out.
All right.